Hi YouTube, Mojismo Eugene, another video from Exit Strategy. Today I want to talk about the narcissist can't change but came into your life so you would. Now, we've been in relationships in the past, a couple of them, or maybe one or two that you can think of, or friendships, because when we say relationships, they also include friendships and family structures. So let's just think about all of these dynamics. You've been in other relationships of sort, and when those relationships didn't really work out for all parties involved, you managed to go your separate ways. I've rarely had that experience, but you get what I'm trying to say. You've had, it was pretty clean break, and you go on to either think that that was a mistake, it wasn't the right fit, and you go on into your life and saying subconsciously that, in verbalizing it to friends, whoever wants to hear it, that yeah, I learned a lesson there, I'm not gonna go for this, or I'm not gonna let that person, I'm not gonna be with this type of person, this kind of man, this kind of woman. Now, those relationships are night and day as compared to a narcissist relationship. Those relationships that ended prior to you meeting a narcissist and the abuse that followed, they may have done something dirty, spiteful, and they may not have, but let's just say they did something. They may have just, said something bad about you. That particular person, although that's narcissism, the viciousness, and it could come from being hurt. So not so much it is a narcissist or narcissism, it's just knee-jerk. It happens. People make mistakes and say things that they shouldn't out of emotions. So my bigger point is, you go on through life thinking, man, you just hair in the wind, You figure it didn't work out. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that no more. I'm not going to get with a person like that anymore. You think you've learned something. You think you know what's best for you now, until you meet a narcissist. There's no other relationship or interaction with another human being that teaches you, changes you, like the relationship with the narcissist. Because now you're not singing that same tune. I know what to watch out for. I'm not going to do X, Y, Z, because I'm going to show you what I'm trying to get at. This relationship with the narcissist served one thing and one thing well. It served to change you. Those other relationships that I just pointed out, they didn't change you, and it didn't propel you to make inner changes. Not just head changes, but heart changes, emotional changes, intellectual, spiritual, academic. It causes you to renovate your whole self. Because undeniably, you step outside of that self that you've been living all of these years, and it makes you question everything past, present, and future. Unlike the relationship I initially pointed out, you just kind of dote on that here and there. If some of the signs of the new relationship seem familiar, you put your foot down, you let it be known. No, last guy, last girl. And you verbalize it in a lot of cases. Not like a narcissist abusive relationship. You don't utter, you don't let on to the new potential interest or friendship of any kind. You have a newfound insight that doesn't compare to anything on planet Earth. You have a newfound knowledge that most people on this earth are clueless about. There are churches, many, most, that are heavily embedded with narcissists. And they are heavily embedded with narcissists from the top. Because if you don't kill the head, the body won't die, as it pertains to a snake. You can injure that snake all you want, but if you don't kill his head, his body, and even when you chop his head off, and we're talking about snakes, from Alabama, we would cut a snake in half. Do you know this snake would move and squirm and would squirm? If it was like the middle of the day, it would literally squirm until sundown. The life was still in that snake with no head. So these churches are heavily insulated. That's why I made a video about this narcissist pastor, celebrity pastor. And I need for it to be known, if you guys don't wake up to the realities of what's going on right up under you, and just pretend to think what you see is the reality, you're stagnating yourself. But with everything that's in me, I'm going to make sure, as my duty, my spiritual duty. It's not about trying to out individuals per se. This is a bigger agenda. This is a bigger mission. This is a mission that is unlike anything I could have created. This is a mission from God. This is a thing that we didn't ask for. We were given a set of instructions, and we are being subordinate to what we've been instructed to do as chosen ones. The guidance that he's given us, the light that he's given us, he didn't give us that flashlight just to go nowhere. It's to help others see their way. And so the narcissist who can't change in any real way that's beneficial for ethics, any ethical way, they can't. They can change from chameleon to chameleon. They can adapt to whatever situation they're in to facilitate their agenda, their selfish agenda. They can play the game, fit right in. This is why it's going to be so overwhelming to conquer this thing if us as empaths don't start speaking in some context to let one another know we're out here, we hear you, we don't tolerate people taking advantage of other people's lives. Imagine a woman being victimized. Even if you're not on that bandwagon of battered woman, me too, Black Lives Matter, even if you're not on those agendas right there, no one in their right mind wants to see anybody be mistreated. Even a person who's being really, really mean and rude and bad to someone, you really don't want to see that person get hurt. Although you may want to see them get dealt with, you don't wish them detrimental harm if you're in your right mind. But if you go on to wish that person harm like they harmed you, then the narcissist coming alone into your life who can't change has not motivated a change in you for the right reasons. You're allowing them to rent a room in your head to which they're not even going to pay rent for. You're renting them a room for free. We're talking about metaphor. Keep the narcissist in your sights, but keep your mind on God, because he is the one that's going to lead you out of this madness, the mindset that you've had, the mental anguish that the narcissist took you through. It's the only way. It's the only way. You can get some academic therapy, some psychotherapy quite naturally. Use the things and the tools in our world that are at our disposal, but don't rely wholeheartedly on those things, because those things only work to a degree. You must come to do the inner work. That's the only way you're going to see the outer results. And so the narcissist who can't change came in your life so you would.